Everything on my dragon altar has a deeper meaning. No one actually expects for these things, these lifeless things and these objects on my dragon altar to have such a connection with where I stand and what my dragon path is actually following. For everyone it should be lifeless, but for me it is pure energy. Your dragon altar, whenever I started to make a dragon altar, whenever I started to make this, wasn't actually going to make some kind of an altar. I was going to make nothing. But I had my dragon awakening. I knew that there was a dragon that I've seen, so I wanted to do something for the dragon, to create a place where it reminds me of my dragon. And that, in the middle of it, that image of the dragon, it reminds me so much of my dragon, because that was the one that triggered me. That was the one that opened up the gate. So it had, of course, the middle place of my dragon altar. When people think about altars, they think about gold, they think about expensive stuff, and actually nothing in particular that should help you. But people forget, and seem to forget all of them, that an altar is in fact a tool. It should help you to be closer to God. And that is what they forget. Sometimes when they make an altar, or in religion, or somewhere else, even in spirituality, they think about something big, something expensive, and something of richdom. And I was forgetting this myself. And I forgot this myself. Because when I got my dragon necklace, my pendant, it was actually made of a simple rope. I removed the simple rope from it and replaced it with gold, pure gold. It costs me a lot. After a while, this necklace broke. It broke and fell on the floor, and I replaced it again with a rope once again, because I forgot that this was actually something that I shouldn't do. Gods or dragons, they don't ask for gold, even though the story said so. It's not true. The dragon, what is the most important thing for the dragon? And I have to learn. I have to learn, listen to the mind of the dragon. What is the most important thing on their mind? Maybe their home, maybe their children, maybe something or someone that they love. That is what is truly important of the dragon themselves. So why fill a dragon altar with gold? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't help you. But what does help you is something that reminds you of the dragon, or your dragon's path, or maybe something that you have encountered on your dragon's path. Maybe when you were young, that you've seen a dragon, that your toy that you played together alongside with your dragon has a good place, has a good spot on your dragon altar. Things like that. There was even a question from someone who was wanted to be on the dragon's path, but way too many questions, way too many. Of course, I understand where this is coming from. I also had a lot of questions on the dragon's path, but they will all be revealed by the dragon themselves, or by your own instincts. It will be revealed anyway. Just have patience on your dragon's path. But yeah, the question actually was that he doesn't have a lot of objects, a lot of items, also not a lot of money to buy something. Of course, what you see here is all being given to me, or something that was really cheap. Nothing of these were expensive, because I don't have a lot of money. But it's not needed. The things that are here, the items that are here, were all a part of my dragon's path, all of them. And all of them very important, very special, and all of them a tool. Together, what you see here, these items, all of them together combined, this is a tool for me. This is something that I can use inside of my own mind. Everything is your mind. So the question was, can I put this dragon on my dragon altar? Even though it doesn't really remind me of my dragon, but can I put it there? And I said, actually, that is not a good idea. If it doesn't remind you of your dragon or your dragon's path, then it's nothing. Then you shouldn't put this there, even though it's a dragon image. A dragon image in itself should be a helpful tool, because that is also what I said. Whenever I saw a dragon, I also wanted to put it on my dragon altar, but there were a few things wrong with it. So, for example, the images of dragons in battles, the images of dragons in pain, things like this, doesn't belong on my dragon altar. I don't want to see them in pain. I want to see them as they are. So that is actually also something that I want to say. How they are alive in the left, and how they are after death on the right. And in the middle of it, it's the spirit. That is, like I said, everything has a meaning. The living dragon, the ancient one of the earth, the one that wants to, the wise one, the ancient one, the forefathers, the king of this world, the queen of this world. And then after a while, when they are gone, when flesh and blood is gone, they still are left with the spirit that is visiting us in this realm, in this world, in this place, in this side, still visiting us, me placing a light so that they will know where we are, placing a light of fire, element of Fafnir. So, like I said, everything has to have a deeper meaning. So this person was actually saying, what should I do on my dragon altar? Well, simple. Do some rituals. But when you do some rituals in front of your dragon altar, keep in mind, don't read books or don't do what everyone is saying. Just do whatever your mind is telling you, or whatever the dragon is giving you instructions for, because that is something that happened a lot. The dragon giving instructions for doing a dragon ritual. There is no better teacher than a dragon, of course. And just how do you listen to them? Simple. Keep silent. And inside of your mind and instincts, you will know what the dragon is saying to you. Just keep still and just listen to the dragon, like a student that you are, like a child that you are, that you sometimes need just to listen to the dragon's instructions. Inside of your dragon altar, it has to become alive. It's, even though you start off maybe as something lifeless, but later on it has to become alive, all of it, like the guardians that stand here, or the one in flesh and blood, the wise one, and then what the remainings of them inside of this world. Everything has to have a meaning. One of my first ones, and that I hold hands with. This posture reminds me, for example, of the first time that the dragon came before me. And so this image of here, so something that I put on my dragon also, because this was the posture of my dragon for the first time, and this was very amazing. And what I also came to learn is that the dragon altar, like I said, is a tool, but also, and that is what I'm trying to search for inside of the forest. That is where I train myself in, is to feel openings inside of forest or something else, that where nature is at their strongest. That is also the reason why I go to the forest, to search down for opening gates. Behind every gate, behind every tree, there could be another gate. There are billions of gates, but where is the dragon's gate? On this world there are so many open gates. It is not intentional that nature did this, but sometimes you can feel open gates. But I never felt a natural open gate of the dragon. So that is something that I learned here in front of my dragon altar. How to open the gate of the dragon. How can we open the gate of the dragon? Your dragon will tell you how to do it. And your own instinct, together alongside with your own instinct, you can do this. But are you willing to do that? Because that is just challenging. That is very challenging to open up a gate. That is not something it's easy to say in words, open up the gate of the dragon, but now you need sincerity. You need devotion. You need not to be afraid of it, and you need sincerity. You need everything of that when you are trying to opening up a gate in front of your dragon altar. And everything that you do, for example, every single ritual that you want to do for your own, if it's succeeding and you do it last minute from your own heart, everything that you do, it makes your dragon altar stronger. The energy, the power that it emits, it's purely because you and your dragon interact in this place. And this is a very sacred place. This is not something meaningless, like inside of a church with a lot of gold. It doesn't want to say anything like this. But the connection between you and your dragon, That is what your dragon altar is supposed to say. So meaningless images or wealth, it doesn't make any sense that you put it there. It is just your own place. This is your altar. You are connecting with your dragons on this, and you need all of the items that reminds you of the dragon. And this item in front of you, this was the one that helped me the most. Also, everything helped me a lot. Everything. That is just the meaning of it. To open this gate, your dragon altar has to become an open gate. Even if it's not in the beginning, or maybe it can be in the beginning, but with me it was already an open gate. From the first moment I put my image, the image of the dragon, there for the first time on this table. In another home, in another house, but it was on the table. It was here on the table where I made a dragon altar, and that I didn't even realize that I was making something like this. I just wanted to do something in honor of the dragon, and later on the dragon invited me to sit down and just let's talk. And that is also a very powerful moment for the first time, that you just sit down like I'm sitting here in front of my altar, staring at this image that is actually now 18 years old, and I've been on the path for 17 years. So it took a while before I was actually really open a gate, but I was constantly looking at it, lure to it, listening to it. I made later on, I made this entire altar become alive, and it started all with the image. Like I said, it has to have a meaning. It shouldn't be meaningless. A dragon altar shouldn't be meaningless. It is in honor of your dragons. It is supposed to tell a story, and it's supposed to say about a story about you and your dragons, and maybe the gods, and maybe nature, and also all of these things, and the struggle that you had. Because I had a lot of struggle, I have a lot of difficulties on my path, and so that is also something that it was showing, a story of everything that some people just say, why are you putting things like this on your dragon altar? Because it has a deeper meaning. And if I would tell you all of it, I would create a book of it. I mean, it's too much. But keep in mind, when you build your dragon altar, not meaningless. If you don't have money, then don't use money and just use things from nature in itself, because the dragon is nature. For example, what is your element? What is the element that is attached to you? What is the dragon god that is the most powerful to you? How do you think your dragon looks like? Things like this. And your mind is actually saying to gather a bit of items that reminds you of the dragon. Simple things that are free, things that are from nature, that you can simply build your altar with. Things like this was not on my altar in the beginning. It was just the image, and then it builds up with more and more items from nature. So I came to know that my goddess is Tiamat, dragon of the earth, but also dragon of the water, Leviathan. So yeah, more and more dragon of the air, dragon. Yeah, so it reminds me a lot of my dragon altar, and it helps me a lot. Now, it has become alive. Everything became alive, especially the one in the middle. It's a lot of energy when you touch it. It's pure electricity. It's pure sensational electricity when you touch it. And that is what it's supposed to become eventually. That it will become alive and it will become attached to you. An open gate that you create together alongside with your dragons and you.